also one of our iconic rivers. We have the Snoqualmie. We also have the Snohomish ones, and one of which, the rising rivers, is the Snoqualmie River near Carnation and Snoqualmie Falls. That's the one you may recognize. The river is expected to crest Thursday morning. Seattle's Savannah Welch is in North Bend tracking the flood.
Well, North Bend has been taking a hit day after day with these back-to-back days of rain and a lot of flooding through many streets and parts of Snoqualmie and North Bend. Take a look. This is Bendigo Boulevard South. This is just off I-90. We've seen a number of cars making their way through, some speeding through and some taking it a little slower. There's probably about a half a foot to a foot of water on the roadway here. And it's not only urban flooding that's an issue, but river flooding as well. We were at the Snoqualmie River earlier this morning. It was moving very quickly. It's forecast to crest around 10 a.m., so obviously safety is a big concern. Schools in the area are closed. There's several school districts that have closed all schools and after-school activities as well today because of the high water levels. Also, officials said they made multiple water rescues overnight, so they're asking people not to drive through any flooded roads or any high-standing water. In North Bend, Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
Now I want to talk about the forecast here in Seattle. So we've had so many changes with this atmospheric river. It's been very strong. The last couple of days, I was talking about the strength of the atmospheric rivers. The scale goes from an AR1 to an AR5, and this was forecast to be an AR4, which is mainly hazardous. It could be beneficial, and it will with our drought. Just we're getting it all at once, all of this rain. So let's dive right into the forecast. Thankfully, this atmospheric river is starting to weaken pretty substantially. In fact, let's show you where it, well, let's go back and I'll show you. It stems still out over the Pacific, but you see that arch to it? Initially, it was just aiming right at Washington and Oregon like a fire hose. Now it's starting to bend to the north, or starting to curve to the north, more so into Canada, and it's all thanks to this high pressure to the south as well. So once again, it is going to weaken. We'll have a front move in that's going to help dry us out even more. I wanted to show you some of the 72-hour rain totals. This is through midnight this morning, so Thursday morning from Monday morning. So we had the 2 rounds of rain. At Seattle's SeaTac Airport, almost 3.5 inches of rain, which is more than we've had in quite some time. Maple Valley pushing 6.5 inches of rain. And then Sequim, which lives under the rain shadow, you may be familiar with that, northeast of the Olympics. All of the Olympics just suck up all of that moisture. You could have sunshine around Sequim in the northeastern Olympic Peninsula and portions of the islands, and then it's pouring everywhere else. Well, they even got, and this is just one location though, but the Dungeness Bay Lighthouse, you may be familiar with that, over 2 inches of rain. And then closer to the coast, Tulips, close to 7.5 inches. Chester Morse Lake. Now this is higher up, but still 12 inches of rain. Skykomish, 14 inches of rain. Stevens Pass, and unfortunately, almost 12 inches of rain, not snow. Eventually our snow levels will start to come down. And then our state capital, Olympia, over 4.5 inches of rain. So you see the time at the top of your screen, top right. So if you're watching this later, just know these numbers are as of 10 o'clock this morning. So the Skagit near Mount Vernon, that's the one we're really concerned about. It is in moderate flood stage as of now. It is forecast to crest tomorrow morning, so mid to late morning, more than likely mid-morning, around 39 feet, which would break a previous record set back in 1990. Originally, it was forecast to crest about 4 to 5 feet above that record. Thankfully, the forecast has gone down. Now, the Skagit near Concrete, which is upstream, it already crested, or it's cresting as we speak, and it's cresting a little lower than the forecast, which is great news there. The Snohomish at Snohomish already hit a previous record set back in 1990, and it is cresting more than likely as we speak as well. The Snohomish near Monroe also expected to reach that historic level. So really it's the Skagit and Snohomish where we were expecting and are expecting some of those records. And additionally, the Cedar at Renton, so south of Seattle and Lake Washington, actually crested at record levels, broke a record from 1990 this morning. The black that you see, those black boxes, those are records. And so a lot of these rivers, the Nooksack at Cedarville, also crested this morning. Thankfully it's dropping, but it also hit a record high level, at least from what our records go back to. Here are some of the other rivers, and once again, 10 a.m. Thursday. Some of the other rivers, the Skagit near Concrete, I mentioned that it's cresting, and it's just shy of that crest, at least as of 10 a.m. Puyallup near Ording, you see close to 14 feet, and it's a lot of them are expected to crest this morning, if not give or take a couple of hours. The Chehalis near Grand Mound, going to crest later this afternoon. The only one that is expected really to crest tomorrow is going to be the one we're the most concerned about that I told you about, was the Skagit at Mount Vernon. So things will continue to improve, but it's going to take a little bit of time for these waters to recede. There is a rare flash flood watch in place for Skagit County and northwestern Snohomish. You heard Drew talk about this. This is in place through Friday night. For these areas specifically, even though we're already seeing the flooding, it's because of the potential for flash flooding caused by the potential of the dike or levee failure. So that's why the National Weather Service went ahead and issued this just in case. This is a flash flood watch, and this is always something to know the difference between a watch and a warning. Watch means conditions for, in this case, flash flooding to occur. It's possible. It's not happening or it's not imminent. That's what a warning is. That means essentially to watch. Watch the conditions, be ready to act in case a warning is issued. And flash flooding means it's happening fast. And so fast moving flooding, and the waters are coming up quickly. We have a flood warning. This is why I wanted to address these a little bit, because we have many. We have a flood warning in place, and the difference between a flood and a flash flood, there is a difference, which I can show you in just a minute. This is because we have some slow moving water. It's gradual instead of quick, but this is for the Cascade foothills, so all of that water has to go somewhere. You saw those high rain totals, and the grounds are so saturated. They're going to continue to fill up our rivers, our creeks, our streams, especially from the Cascades all the way down. So they will start to drain into our rivers, our streams, and it's going to take a little bit of time. There's also a flood watch for pretty much all of western Washington. Just because of the runoff, it may lead to additional flooding of rivers, creeks, urban and low-lying areas, and flood-prone areas. Here you go. This is what I was talking about. Flood versus flash flood. As I mentioned, flood is slow rising flood. So we've had a flood watch in place for several days. This flash flood watch is only in place for another 24, 36 hours. And once again, that means fast flood. A watch means watch out, be ready, and warning is take action. Something else that we're concerned about, and we've already had numerous reports, increase of landslides, debris flows, and mudslides. I wanted to show you a look from this is actually our Columbia Center camera in Seattle. See the camera shaking, Bellingham, it's gray, but the rain has let up. And unfortunately, this is above 5,000 feet, but Mount Rainier Paradise don't have much in the way of snow just yet. So let's talk about the rain coming in. So we're finally getting that break, but we could have a weak little system move in, and that could bring more rain, but light. But look up in the North Cascades and then eventually into Stevens Pass. There could be a little bit in the way of snow, but nothing meaningful. Then we get into Friday morning, going to only have a couple of sprinkles here and there. And then into Saturday, we're actually going to have a really nice day, maybe some morning fog. And then into Sunday, we'll have more rain around. Now through Friday evening, you see an additional maybe 1/10 of an inch up in the mountains, maybe 1/2 of an inch, really not much, but we have more rain headed our way into next week. In terms of snow, you see all the way through Saturday, not looking likely, but longer range computer models are showing a better chance for us to get some snow down the road. But you see temperatures are well above normal. We are under first alert weather mode today and tomorrow just because we're still going to have that river flooding and elevated landslide risk. So that is why we're saying please take it easy. If you are going to be traveling in Washington, west to east, north to south, make sure you check in with WashDOT for the real live updates because we have so many roads that are closed.